Hello, and welcome to today's recording of Assassin's Creed Rogue. Today is day 58 of our Assassin's Creed Marathon on our march to Assassin's Creed Unity. Today actually marks the very first time that I will be playing Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, so we're going to see a couple things pop up and here and there that we're not used to seeing. We will also talk a little bit about the setting. We will talk a little bit about the lore that was introduced in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and we will talk about one of Shay Patrick Cormac's first targets, who I won't name until the game names him first. So, without further ado, let's hop in here and start a brand new game that we're going to call, like everything else that we've been calling, we're going to call it Marathon. Here we go. Let's enjoy the story. And to answer your questions, no, I'm not going for 100% right now. We're just going to do the story, as much of it as we can.
Stay my blade from the flesh of the innocent. Hide in plain sight. Never compromise the Assassin Brotherhood. These are the tenets of the Creed, the principles I used to live by. I was a young man then. The 7 Years' War was about to begin. I could not have imagined what the future had in store for me, nor the cost I would choose to bear. My name is Shay Patrick Cormac. This is my story.
Well, we won't lack for firewood at least.
Admit it, I nearly had you.
Nearly counts for nothing, Shay. And besides, no. That was just luck.
I make my own luck, Liam.
You've been saying that for years, but you're precious little to show for it. Or have you been spending it all getting out of trouble?
Well, you know, trouble just follows me around.
Let's head back. Come on. Captain de Andre and his crew must have run into some trouble. Who knew meeting with smugglers would lead to no good?
I still don't understand why you can't tell me what we're doing here.
Because Chevalier decided not to tell you.
I thought we were friends, Liam.
We are. But this is business. It doesn't concern you, Shay.
If it doesn't concern Shay, why is he here? Want to tell me that?
Am I going too fast for you?
I'm just keeping an eye on you, in case you fall down and hurt yourself.
Hurry. We best not keep Chevalier waiting.
Mais où sont ces crétins? Space that... Where the hell were you two?
We were out hunting. What happened here?
My men were attacked by some English sea dogs.
Why, Captain Joseph. Couldn't you fight them all off by yourself like you're always saying?
It is Capitaine Louis-Joseph Gauthier, Chevalier de la Vérendrye. And you are dreaming if you think any training could make you into a proper assassin. Do you even know what that means? It means being responsible for an ancient and proud tradition. It means obeying your mentor without question. How else will we ensure freedom for the human race?
Them's pretty words, Chevalier. But I don't feel too free at the moment.
Well then, feel educated! Viens, viens!
So, with everything that we've been playing, that we've gone through, with him saying
You rot-brained cabbage farmer!
that we are to obey the mentor without question
I will teach you some
to ensure
manners, boy.
freedom. How does that help
Gentlemen,
anybody?
stop! We got a common enemy, and I reckon he's close.
The Royal Navy attack my vessel and force my men to flee. We are stranded, and what is worse, the smugglers we were supposed to meet have been taken prisoner.
Shay and I'll free those smugglers. You treat your wounded. Take these. You'll need them. Tread with care, Shay. The Royal Navy be ready for us. Remember your training. Ready to teach them a lesson?
They don't stand a chance.
Free run and stinks.
It's bad.
Thank you.
So, let's take a moment while this is going on.
Keep an eye out, lads! The hounds are still out there somewhere!
There he goes again.
He's off! Down!
We're gonna take this guy out too. Be safe. I have to sneeze, and then we're gonna talk about the setting. Whew. Excuse me.
Many thanks. I thought I'd be hanged.
So, Shay called this the 7 Years' War. That, for the most part, is what it's called in Europe. In North America here, it is, well, not completely all, but in French Canada, it is called the French and Indian War. And what's so important about the distinction is that
I was saving those fellas for you.
Very thoughtful. Maybe you were not completely useless, Shay.
Speaking of useless, those blockheads won't be needing this vessel anymore.
This pile of mail? You want her, Shay? She is yours. Now bring me back to my ship.
You heard, Chevalier? This vessel is yours, Shay. Go on. Take the wheel. Some of the men you rescued agreed to join us. They should prove a good crew.
I'm not so certain about their captain, but next to me you are the most experienced sailor in the Brotherhood, Shay. Besides, we could use another vessel. Even this pitiful one.
She's mine, ain't she? My own ship.
Your own pile of garbage, yes?
Ah, with a lick of paint and a few new cannons, she'll look as fine as anything on the seven seas.
Shall we begin, Captain?
Indeed, mate.
Look now.
She's a mess.
Full sail. Full
But she's
sail.
still afloat.
Okay, so
And her name's the Morgan.
Morgan! That silly fairy queen of... Merlin, the wise? Oh, she's perfect for you, Shay.
The Morgan was an old goddess, queen of war and darkness, the harps of the souls of fallen warriors. Perfect indeed.
So the French and Indian War is where we're actually going to talk.
A ship! This is a false ship! They will sink her!
Let's put the barring into this house, Captain Shay.
Ready for battle, men!
Ready to bar! All hands!
Warship incoming, Captain! Brig! Ship from the Royal Navy, sir! They seem to... Stop them, boy!
Man,
Enemy sails, sir! Fire! As much sail as you can! They're tearing her to pieces! Do something! She's breaking up! Fire!
all I seriously have are the essentially the exploding shot front cannon.
No match for us, Captain!
She's foundering! Fire!
No! No!
Fire! She's breaking up!
No one left.
On the flanks! Fire!
That one's dry!
Oh, I thought I was gonna make that one. That'd been pretty cool. Well, hopefully we can talk about the 7 Years' War now. This war, of course, pitted the British and French colonies against one another. Initially, disputes over the control of the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers and the site of the French Fort Duquesne.
Seems this vessel is battle ready after all. I will return to what is left of the depot. It's a long way home. We have repairs to do.
Sing hearty, lads. Chevalier is pleased with us.
What course would you have me set, Shay?
Time to report back to the mentor. Wouldn't you agree?
Wise words, Captain. Wise words.
What the hell did you do? It's some kind of dormant virus? Shit. Hang on, I'm getting you out of there.
Please proceed calmly to the nearest exit. We repeat, please remain calm. Do not panic.
Sorry for the rough exit. Earpiece working, check. You were just in an animus. Animus, yes? You were using it to access a genetic memory file in Helix labeled Shay Cormac? You work for Abstergo Entertainment, remember? Any of this ringing a bell? Your session triggered something bad, and it's affecting the whole building. We need to find your boss. You haven't forgotten your boss, have you? Melanie LeMay, zipper, chipper, overachiever? Here, take your communicator, check it if you got lost. Now let's get out of here. Follow me. Double time.
Assassin's Creed,
This
Far Cry
chaos
3,
is absolutely your fault, in case you're wondering.
Splinter Cell, Blacklist. That's Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, Brotherhood, and
Hey, numbskull, don't wander off!
3 maybe? I'm not sure. And then essentially the same desk that was at the end of the same stuff that was on the
What's
same
wrong
desk
with you?
as
Come on!
the other guy, the Assassin's Creed 4 analyst. A couple different. Oh, those are the ones from Black Flag, I think. Or the.
Hurry! We gotta get out of here!
Oh, you're fine. Rising Phoenix. I wonder what that's all about.
Come on, everyone. Just like we practiced in our safety drills. Everything is gonna be okay, guys. What the hell is happening?
A file labeled Shay Cormac was booby-trapped with some kind of virus.
Your job is to prevent things like this.
We need to contain these genetic memories, then we can destroy them.
No. Isolate them. I want to study these memories.
But...
With respect, Miss LeMay, this is not a request.
You heard the man.
fine.
I need to borrow your numbskull. That okay with you, Ms. LeMay?
Hey there, this might seem a bit weird, but you're gonna work for contractors we hired to, you know, upgrade our security. Mr. Otto Berg and Miss Violet DaCosta.
Call me Violet.
I have to go check on our people and prepare a statement for the press. Do whatever they tell you to do, okay? Go team!
Go team! Melanie's even
Technically,
crazier
you're not
than she was
responsible
before.
for this, but you're the one who let the virus out, so I think it's only fair you help me clean it up. Mr. Berg wants us to relive Shay's genetic memories. To do that, we need to access them from Helix. But the Helix is down. We'll have to reboot the main servers in the basement. Man, whoever designed this virus is a genius. Not only does it restrict our access to the cloud, it's adapted to fuck up the other operating systems that regulate building functions. Melanie? The elevators are out of commission. Are we stuck on this floor?
Damn, yes. I'll get a repair crew on site ASAP.
There's a working area server on this floor. I guess that'll have to do for now.
Agent DaCosta, I want regular updates on your progress with Shay's genetic memories.
Why? He's just a nobody as far as I can tell.
If Shay Cormac is who I suspect he is, then this temporary setback may provide us with an unexpected reward. Proceed to the server room on this floor.
We're gonna skip those, though we could pick them all up. And we will talk about them with Assassin's Creed Unity, assuming there is any decent information to get to, like there was with Assassin's Creed 4, which we will get to as soon as I get a moment to actually talk to you about the setting and other moments
Once you
in
restore
the
the
game.
server, I'll connect your Animus workstation back to Helix. In theory, if you align the beams to segments of the core, it should solve the problem. But here's where it gets tricky. You have to move the circles in such a way that each segment is powered by a beam. The keyword here is each. One beam and one beam only per core segment, okay? Once everything is lit up properly, the system will reboot. Got it? Give it a shot.
Oh, it's the other buttons to set
Good job. This core wasn't too complex. But rebooting the advanced hardware in the rest of the building will require more work.
If you go to unlock all of them, there's some real interesting ones.
The assassins would have you believe that Al-Mualim was a great mentor who became corrupted with greed, and that he schemed with the Templars to acquire an apple of Eden. I see instead a shrewd and cunning leader. A man who used his best assassin, Altair ibn Lahad, to eliminate his conspirators in order to keep the apple for himself, so that he could use it to enforce world peace. While it must be stated unequivocally that Al-Mualim was not a Templar, it is interesting to me that his vision of peace was more in line with Templar philosophy than assassin. In the past, both sides had the same goal, that of peace. Our only difference was how we chose to achieve it. Had Al-Mualim not been killed by Altair and allowed to carry out his plan, perhaps we would not be fighting now. It was only after Altair reformed the Brotherhood with its new ideals of free will that the conflict truly escalated and spread across the planet. For if the so-called wise man of the mountain can see things from our point of view, surely the same can be said for other assassins.
Interesting that he stated that.
Okay. So I'm not sure you're supposed to see that. You should just get back to your Animus.
And it's interesting to me that he stated that Al-Mualim was not a Templar.
You know, feel like being helpful. And you could, in theory, find some more digital goodies if
Talking.
you know, feel like being sneaky.
It's interesting that Berg states
Hey,
he's not
one
a.
of your coworkers dropped his communicator by the elevator. If you see any tech lying around like that, grab them. There might be a clue as to who did this.
Now that you have unlocked Shay Cormac's memories, We stand on the brink of a grand discovery. I know you must have questions about your new assignment, or about me. For now, all I will say is that Shay's story contains the answers. Shay will lead you to a greater understanding.
What interests me is that Berg states that Al-Mualim was not a Templar, though if you go back and watch the recordings of Assassin's Creed 1, Robert claims that he was. So, who would you believe? Hey, look at there! There's an achievement. Alright. So there should be a cutscene here.
It has been a long time.
Achilles.
Adewale, how go things in the West Indies?
Very poorly, I'm afraid.
Your countenance tells me we should discuss this. Come.
Who's our visitor?
That's Adewale. He was a slave who freed himself, and hundreds of his brothers in the West Indies. That man's a living incarnation of the Creed.
See?
You join me for some practice?
Soon. I've got other business first.
Tell me what happened.
It was terrible, Achilles. The ground shook, and the ocean waves crashed over Port-au-Prince.
How many were lost?
Thousands. No family was left untouched.
I hate to bring up practical matters at a time like this. But did Mackandal's man complete his task before the earthquake hit?
I cannot know. Vonredi has not been found. He was a strong Maroon, one of Mackandal's best students.
Such a shame. So we cannot know if he found the site.
Indeed. But if there was a temple under the waves, I doubt it is still standing.
And the artifacts that showed the way?
Stolen. The Templars broke in during the chaos. They seized the manuscript and precursor box. I gave chase on the sea, but lost their trail when they reached New York.
We must consider what to do next.
Alright, so let's talk about the setting. Essentially, in the North American continent, at least here in the United States, it's called the French and Indian War.
Waiting for you. Seen him yet?
I hear Mistress Hope was looking for you.
Yeah, they're all looking for me. Which was basically a war that pitted the French colonies against the British colonies.
You are late.
Oh, what did I miss? Only the first hour of training. We're always training, Kasagawase, and will continue to do so.
Do not waste your words. Shay abhors improvement as much as cats abhor leashes.
Hey.
A pity. The boy has so much potential. But so little discipline.
All right. All right. What would you have me do?
Well played.
It's about time you showed up.
Far be it from me to keep a lady waiting.
I'm no lady here. And don't you forget it. I'm your teacher. And you're better.
Well, some of that is true, at least. What would we be doing?
Exploring a myriad ways to end a life. You two! Make yourselves useful and watch Shay. Can you kill without being noticed? You certainly know how to handle yourself.
I see him! There!
So, initially,
attack from around a corner, and your
disputes
target will never know what hit him.
over the control of the Allegheny and the how is it pronounced? The Monongahela rivers and the site of the French Fort Duquesne. These disputes would eventually erupt in violence at the Battle of Jumonville Glen in May
Classic
1754,
haystack. Hide in it and surprise your target when he gets close.
which, as we've seen,
Top form, Shay.
wasn't that a kill from a bush? Oh, that's frustrating. I guess we'll go over here to this guy.
Not for you.
Nicely done. I am surprised.
That should have
You
been.
did better than I expected.
Oh well.
Have your skills actually grown, Shay? Do not get a swelled head over it.
So in May 1754, the Battle of Jumonville Glen was actually where George Washington and his Virginia militia,
Remember what I taught you. Be patient. Be silent. Never let them see you coming.
wow, I'm drawing a blank on the word I'm looking for. Ambushed. They ambushed a
Shay,
French patrol.
follow me. It's time you learn to survive in the frontier.
I think I've been managing well enough so far.
Perhaps. But there is more I can teach you.
Alright. Why are we running, mate? In 1755, 6 colonial governors met with General Edward Braddock and planned a four-way attack on the French. All of them would fail. CL. Actually, Braddock's expedition would fail, leading to his death at the Battle of Monongahela on July 9th, 1755.
Killing should not be meaningless. We must use what nature gives us.
Later within that year, the British would capture Fort Bestjour,
Good.
which would lead
Now
to
use what you have
the
taken from nature.
first deportation of the Arcadians. I'm sorry, not their first, their forced deportation of the Arcadians between 1755 and 1764. In 1756, both Britain and France would formally declare war on each other, which would spark the larger 7 Years' War. So the colonies were fighting 2 years before the official start of the 7 Years' War. That's why the North American theater of the 7 Years' War in the United States, at least, and most of Canada, it's called the French and Indian War. By this time, the British would be supported by Iroquois, Catawba, and the Cherokee, while the French would be supported by the Wabanaki Confederacy members, the Abenaki, the Mi'kmaq, along with the Algonquin, Lenape, Ojibwa, Ottawa, Shawnee, and Wyandot. The war would also be called La Guerra de la Conquête, or the War of Conquest to French Canadians. Liam is over there. In 1757, The British government within the region of what is now modern Nova Scotia fell after several disastrous campaigns, including the siege of Fort William Henry. Let's talk to Liam here, and then we'll continue about the war.
What's the challenge today?
Shooting straight and true. Here, you can use these.
These are yours.
Well, I want you to have half a chance of succeeding. Go on. Shoot these targets. You can take your time. Not too much. We've more work after this. Reload. Anyone can hit targets standing still. Let's see how you do on the run. Come on, hurry up.
Made a bad turn. I'm not gonna get the...
Well done, Shay. Keep it up. Achilles has one more thing to show you. Go on, get a move on.
Alright, so after France preference to concentrate on forces within Prussia and its other European allies, the British would launch a campaign between 1758 and 1760 to capture Canada. They would, of course, succeed in capturing territory that would ultimately end with the Battle of Quebec in 1759, though they would lose the Battle of Santa Foy to the French in 1760. Most of the fighting in North America would end in 1760, though there would be some notable exceptions like the French seizure of St. John's, Newfoundland.
Generous gift. Thank you, mentor.
My ship awaits, Achilles. The people of Haiti will make good use of your supplies. I trust you will retrieve what has been lost.
Lost? The Templars stole two precious artifacts. A manuscript of ancient wisdom and a box that allows one to understand its language.
I have tracked the Templar as far as this coast, but I fear the rest is up to you, my friend.
Farewell, Adewale. Whoever controls the artifacts can access precursor sites of power. We must recover them, or none are safe.
The war would end officially in so let's try that again. The war would officially end with the signing of the Treaty of Paris on February 10th, 1763, and with the Treaty of Hubertsburg that was signed on February 15th would officially end the 7 Years' War. When everything was said and done, France would lose Louisiana to Spain and the rest of their North American land to the British, and Spain would trade Florida to regain Cuba. The economic burden of this war is what would eventually lead to both the American and the French revolutions.
Where to? Wherever Templar affairs lead us.
Liam, it's not like you to set out without a plan.
Plan or no plan. We choose our own battlefield. And hey, we know most of these when we're at sea.
Right you are. Let's set sail.
So we're going to talk about lore a little bit until we learn the name of the first historical target that we're going to go after.
Spread our wings to the wind!
As you can see, we're not quite up to the French and Indian War yet, but we're pretty close.
Let's hope it brings us closer to the artifacts.
Sir Keeley's tasked you with this mission?
No. He tasked me to task you. We need to find what was stolen from Mac and Dalshay. You have to recover the precursor box of manuscript. This is your mission.
And what's yours?
Watch your arse.
Achilles doesn't really trust me, does he?
Give it time, Shay. Do this for him. For us. Do much more than earn his trust.
Liam.
Which way am I going? To go around, do I have to go all the way around? Yep, up and around.
You know what Achilles writes about? I see him in his office all the time, bent over his papers.
He keeps records and accounts. Studies what little is known about the pieces of Eden. And of course, he corresponds with assassins on other continents.
Of course. Liam, you can be a right horse's arse when it comes to assuming everyone knows the same as you.
I cannot help if Achilles wants me to be familiar with our counterparts in Europe and elsewhere.
Said like his favorite son.
Connor's his favorite and only son.
And Achilles is heir. Connor may inherit the house, but you'll be mentor.
We'll see.
The candle
Whatever you
thing
say,
is using the old
Prince
wax.
Regent of the Assassins.
That's what I thought. If you want to essentially pour it out and bring down and use the new wax, I'm okay with that. Oh, it is that time, and your friends will be over tomorrow. For you to get ready for bed, to get ready for school. To get ready for bed, it's that time. Never mind. I know. So I don't have to reach all crazy like to find it.
Friendly fort sighted. I believe
Yeah,
at Port
princess.
Lejoie.
So, instead of just telling you what happened in the last game, which is kind of almost irrelevant to this game, I want to talk about the overarching narrative, which is best described from talking to about some of the lore that we found within Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So we're going to start this mission, do its cutscene, and then what I'm going to talk to you about is what is called the Sample 17 project. And so, well, actually, I might be wrong. We might wait. Do I have to get inside? Oh, it's actually not that far from here.
Short sail! Get off the squall!
But the quick rundown is the Sample 17 project is the project where Abstergo Entertainment would explore the ancestral memories of Desmond Miles. Abstergo Entertainment would be looking for interesting ancestors that they could turn into feature films, and the Animus Omega Abstergo Entertainment would look for interesting ancestors for feature films, Animus Omega programs, and then other entertainment-related material, while the parent company, Abstergo Industries, used the project to locate and acquire pieces of Eden and other first civilization technology.
Trust me, you will sell those lobster by the ton in France. Ah, the cabbage farmers return. About time. We have a lead on that curious manuscript.
I'd be surprised if you can read it.
No one can read it, imbecile. This is why the Templar are taking so long with it. But one of our allies has caught a glimpse of their work.
A pirate?
A spy who worked with the pirate. We set sail for Anticosti. That should prove a good test for this floating cesspit you call a ship.
How trustworthy are the pirates?
I consider them brothers, Shay. When the time comes, they will lend aid and help us fight the Templars. If only the Rus beef would realize the Templars were pulling their strings.
Are the Templars truly in control in the colonies?
Not quite, but their influence reaches far and wide.
And what about the spy we're meeting?
You need not worry about Le Chasseur. He is loyal to the Brotherhood. As it happens, he also has friends in both the French and English fleets. And he knows more about what goes on in these parts than you can ever hope to learn.
So, Liam, what can you tell me about Adewale? You obviously admire the man.
Guess I should probably go faster, huh?
I had the honor of working with him once. I've never known anyone who'd done so much for our cause. It's much more than that.
Adewale was already a legend before joining the Brotherhood. He was a pirate. Scourge of the West Indies. Rubbing elbows with the likes of Blackbeard, Woodes Rogers, and Calico Jack Rackham.
Calico who?
Oh, read a book, will you?
About 20 years ago, Adewale intercepted a Templar convoy and stole a mysterious package. He traveled to Port-au-Prince and entrusted it to a woman he believed was loyal to our cause.
There's some up of...
Let me guess. She wasn't.
She was, very much so. The package eventually found its way to Francois Macandal, mentor of the Haitian Brotherhood.
What is it?
And Macandal isn't
the package, I
legitimate historical figure.
The very box we're seeking.
We still have little idea of what this vessel is capable of. Why don't we set the Morrigan against a quarry of her caliber? Can't be far now, Captain.
Gunboats. Looking for a schooner. So, there it is.
An English vessel, and she looks to be in trouble.
That's fine indeed. Perhaps we should aid her journey to the bottom of the sea.
Now, let's not be too hasty. She's full of crown cargo. Take a look through your spyglass and see for yourself.
Pretty sight. I say this is a good day to lighten King George's pockets.
Be careful. A few shots should be enough to cripple her. Too much damage and she'll go down with all souls. And all spoils.
We can board and loot her before the crew knows what.
So, the genetic material for the Sample 17 project would be taken directly from Desmond's deceased body that they found at the end of Assassin's Creed 3. But we don't see that until we see the post-mortem report in 4. And they would take that direct while inside the Grand Temple.
Let's board her.
Sturgo was quickly able to isolate DNA of at least 4 ancestors. The ancestors that they were able to find was Altair ibn Ahad, Enzio Auditore da Firenze, Edward Kenway, and Rantica Hayton, which was Edward's grandson. The project was led by Melanie LeMay, who we of course just met, and they first had access in October 2013 when the memories of Edward Kenway were finalized. The other 3 mentioned were analyzed and considered a weak investment or too risky for the project. In 2014, Abstergo Entertainment would release the film Devils of the Caribbean, which was based on Edward's life. That was the quick, easy way of him slapped him to death. That's great. That's essentially project subject 7, sample 17 project. any of that, so let's just salvage it. I wish this had, like, the Kenway Fleet and a phone app. I'd be using that all the time.
Right! The sea between here and Anticosti is rough, Captain. We should strengthen the Morgan before going any further. There's a harbour master station nearby. We can spend our new wealth on improvements.
I didn't realize there was a brotherhood in Haiti.
Yes. Francois McCannell is their mentor. He gathers many of his assassins from the Maroons.
Those are escaped slaves and their children, right?
They are. A shame, though. They escaped terrible conditions only to be killed in an earthquake.
But Haiti's a French colony now.
Aye, it is.
And here, the assassins are helping King Louis. But in Haiti, the French own the slaves who are set free by the assassins.
Our struggle is beyond political borders, Shay.
Anticosti shouldn't be far. Keep us on course, Captain.
The employee, who was unnamed, would receive a passport, employee passport. That would explain Abstergo Entertainment division of Abstergo Industries, which claims within it is that they're a tech company, but if you remember from Assassin's Creed, the first one, it is stated that Abstergo is a pharmaceutical
You'd better
company.
borrow some coin. Bartering with an empty purse won't get you very far.
So, my question is, did they change, or were we at a different division?
What's on your mind, Captain?
There we go. Buckle gun. Oh, there's harpooning. Forgot all about harpooning in this one. Let's see, stone we actually use later on in the game. Tobacco we'll never use. Stone and wood will be used for ship and other things that we will not see until later. So, Abstergo Entertainment is researching the genetic memory for a wide range of transmedia offerings, which includes games, books, films, and comics. So essentially, if it's got an Assassin's Creed name on it, then it's done by Abstergo Entertainment. Basically, Abstergo Entertainment is the in-universe explanation for all the multimedia tie-ins, the Assassin's Creed novels.
We should resume course to Anticosti, Captain.
Things like that.
Indeed. The chasseur is waiting for us.
The sea between here and Anticosti is rough, Captain. The Morrigan seems sturdy enough for the challenge.
Loose on! Let's move!
Loose tops and royals.
It would also, through this passport, give us a timeline for Abstergo, which I'm going to summarize. I'm not going to read it to you word for word. 1937 saw the founding of Abstergo Industries, and Abstergo being early supporters of workers' unions.
They're sinking the fishing boats.
You must believe those fishermen strayed into their waters.
These scoundrels must pay.
And would you look at that? Standing right in our way to Anticosti. What say you? You sink every last one of them?
For once, I find myself agreeing with you, Shay. Stranger things will happen.
In 1940, Abstergo would aid in the establishment of World Bank and with NASA. I didn't even see the ship. Essentially just firing off into a random area because there's so much can be just picked up by these guys. Not working. Oh, I got him. In 1978, they would create the first Animus. In 2009, the DNA memory would be ready for public consumption, and Pilot Entertainment Division would be created.
Salt air, open skies, a man out on the ocean is as free as a man
2010.
can be. What do you say, Liam?
We're out here for a reason, Shay. Mind your duty.
Would
and what's the point of freedom if you cannot breathe deep and enjoy it?
The Templars stick to this continent like a tar. Don't feel liberated until
Man,
you
sometimes I wish they just quit talking.
Seems to me we should just talk to them like men instead of skulking around.
Would you stop? They lay their boot on your neck?
Of course not.
They're murdering bastards who want to control the world and everyone in it. Never forget.
We have nothing in common with that, of course.
There it is. Antiquity. The chasseur should be there. And with any luck, he will know where to find that manuscript.
Storm cap! Looks bad.
The 2010 would see the first release of the Entertainment Division's first project, which was called Project Legacy. It was actually a Facebook game that was released alongside Brotherhood. 2011, Entertainment would test multiplayer simulation that would be embraced by competitive gamers. 2010 release, that would have been... No, 2011, that would have been Revelations release. 2012, in collaboration with Ubisoft, Liberation, aka the Vita game Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, is released, telling the story of Aveline de Grand Prix, a fallen assassin who rediscovers the light with the help of the Templar Order.
The rum here is terrible. Let me see. That's not rum. It's
Oh, man, through here. 2013, Entertainment's headquarters in Montreal would start construction. And let me actually read this part to you because this part was interesting. When telling you your role in the document, I would also tell you not to be surprised to find past tech that would help future generations, secret societies, or other connections between people or places unknown to connect. And genetic memory, things might be different than written history. Also, you would be informed that to just do your research, not worry about getting promotions, as they will take care of that for you with an ironclad hierarchy to allow you to just do your thing.
Take a look at this. I borrowed these plans from a Royal Navy ship of the line. They are like nothing I have ever seen.
good. We could use some more powerful weapons. Le Chasseur, allow me to present our associate, Shay Cormac.
Gentlemen, I have news. On this same ship, I spied the manuscript you seek. It was written in an exotic language I did not recognize and was full of drawings, plants, and animals out of an opium dream.
Were there no charts, no maps?
No. There may have been some kind of code, but neither I nor the roast beefs could ken
Where's
it.
the manuscript now?
The man who brought it said a man named Washington sent him.
I know that name. He's an important Templar, isn't he?
He is. Lawrence Washington has great ambitions that Templars have helped fulfill. Shay, let's return and find him. You, sir, have our thanks.
There's our target, and who we will talk about after I finish the script discussing the Abstergo handbook. Employee passport, I'm sorry. Where were we? We did, oh yes, the ironclad hierarchy. What was interesting to me was the hours they set were between 8:30 and 5:30, but you could start as late as 10, and you were welcome to stay as long as you want. And that you only got your first week off after your first year of employment unless you logged in 3,000 hours, which is equal to 125 days. That's actually, we get to the ship, don't I? Because the mission starts, yeah, mission starts out there. So I need to go to the ship. Alright, so, everything you'd want would be on campus, with life insurance and your security clearance being tied to your tablet. You are allowed to use social media, but are restricted from talking about project details and titles, launch dates, themes, characters, settings, and all other identifying traits. The physical layout of Abstergo Entertainment and Abstergo Industries campuses, the makeup of teams, including immediate colleagues, supervisors, reports, and their project status, mentions of any technologies, partners, affiliates, retailers, wholesalers, and allusions to the details of sales reports or bonus structures. And to top it all off, you cannot travel with work, but if you must, you have to use tablets and communicators provided by Abstergo and only used in Abstergo hotels and meeting rooms and never out in the open. That last part I copied in my notes directly from what they called their NDA, their non-disclosure agreement.
So what's our next heading?
Wherever this Lawrence Washington docks is ours.
Liam,
and when I saw it,
you're finally getting into the spirit of things.
Do that word for word.
He's a Templar and a politician. What's there to like?
Good. Hoist anchor. Why does Chevalier get off ordering us around like that? We're assassins, same as him.
He's more experienced and he knows these waters better, Shay. It makes him in charge in these parts.
Well, he commands me around back at the homestead too. Is he a truffle pig to know land better than me?
Show some respect, Shay.
He ought to respect me, Liam. I stick my neck out as much as any of us.
Yeah, twice as often it seems. That's just the thing. Chevalier hangs back and thinks before making a decision. His experience has earned him that right.
I wonder how much more experience I'll need before I can decide when to wake up or take action. I swear, Liam, sometimes I feel I was more grown up when we were children. We slept rough and scrounged for meat, but at least we decided where and when.
She's not very happy, guys. Alright, so let's talk about Lawrence Washington now that we know he is our target. He was born around sometime around 1718 and sent to school in 1729 at Appleby. I think it's pronounced Appleby. It might be Appleby, but that's a grammar school in Cumbria, England, and would return to Virginia in 1738 to manage his father, Augustine Washington's plantation on the Potomac River. Lawrence would begin to buy his own land in March of 1739, and it's based on those recordings and the law stating you need to be 21 to buy your own land that they estimate he was born around 1718. On July 10th, 1740, He would be commissioned of senior captain in one of Colonel William Gooch's regiment of foot. Surviving the battles of Caragana de Indias in March 1741 and other expeditions within the Caribbean that suffered high rates of casualties. Mostly from diseases. Are we in a cutscene or just a transfer scene to the river valley? Both. I like how the eagle flies through there.
Give me some speed! Crowd it all on!
So, when we're talking about this expedition in particular, of the 3,255 men under Gooch in January 1741, only a total of 147 men would return to North America in November and December of 42, I'm sorry. And along with them would be 268 sick soldiers. Lawrence would start rebuilding a house on the site of his father's earlier residence on Little Hunting Creek. He would name it Mount Vernon in honor of his wartime commander. The country of Fairfax was created from the northern part of Prince William County in 1742, and Lawrence would be elected to Virginia's legislative body, which was known as the House of Burgesses, in 1744 for the county of Fairfax. He would also create the Ohio Company of Virginia with his father-in-law and some other prominent land and business owners, with the intention of opening trade to the American interior that linked to the Potomac River.
The Templars desire to understand the nature of these artifacts. Their spies have called upon many doctors and other learned people in New York.
They have also approached many tribes with questions.
Yeah, they've been showing that manuscript far and wide. No one can read the strange writing or understand the images. We do have a name, though.
We learned that Lawrence Washington sent out the manuscript.
Lawrence Washington, businessman, Virginian politician, and high-ranking Templar.
Ah, yes. I recently heard he was back from the West Indies. One of my men saw his major domo pick up a strange package.
Then that package will be delivered to him promptly. Shay, figure out what it is and find Washington. And when you do, learn all you can.
I'll prepare the Morrigan.
In May 1749, Lawrence would be granted permission from his commander, who is now governor, William Gooch, to see to his failing health. That's what he asked permission for. Lawrence would then sail to London sometime before July 1749. Get off the railing.
Captain has the helm!
But not only to
Well, if we've
conduct
any luck,
business for the Ohio
that
Company,
ship will lead us right to him.
but to consult English
I make
doctors
my own
about
luck,
his failing
Liam.
health.
And Washington is running out of his.
Where are we going?
These waters are full of X.
Oh, we're
Red bank in
located
sight,
ship.
sir. Good hunting ground.
Got right there, Portsmouth.
Aye. There she is! All right, man. Time to be quiet.
Lawrence Washington is a powerful businessman, a slave owner, and a leading Templar. We lost track of him about a year ago. I recently learned he was in Barbados, but I haven't been able to confirm that. Now,
Now you think he had something to do with the theft of the artifacts, don't you?
I wouldn't put it past him. Haiti's a short voyage from Barbados, and his return to the colonies certainly coincides with the arrival of the artifacts.
We cannot let the Templars get control of these colonies. Whatever happens, Lawrence Washington must not survive.
I'll make sure he doesn't.
So, in 1751, Lawrence would sail to Barbados, like they were just discussing.
Blockade, Captain! This won't do. Shay, you must follow that ship on land.
I'll do that. Bring the Morrigan around another way.
Aye, Captain. Track that package and find Washington.
Loose tops and royals.
Reef the topsails and gallants. Sub-blockade.
And remember what I said, Shay.
Really, dude?
Washington must die.
Captains at sea!
1751, Lawrence would sail to Barbados with his younger half-brother George Washington, in the hopes that the warm weather, the warm tropical climate, might help with his tuberculosis. It would be this disease that would claim Lawrence's life in July of 1752, with him being between the ages of 33 and 34. While George would live and manage Mount Vernon, it would not be fully his until the death of Lawrence's widow Anne in 1761. So that's essentially where we are with Lawrence, and with this being the final memory, we're going to focus on finishing this up and seeing the cutscene for this memory, and then we'll get more into lore tomorrow, especially since most of Shay's guess I should have just whistled at him. Most of Shay's targets tomorrow, I could not find reliable information on if they were true historical figures or not. We will meet some historical figures, but I'm just not sure his target is of historical meanings. So I should be able to...
Stop!
Oh, that's not bad, I should have waited.
You there! Stop!
I hope I didn't have to stay hidden to complete the sequence. Well, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter since we're just going to do the story, right? I'm not worried about 100%ing it. Come over here so I can cut you. Come on. Dude, come here. Wish I could whistle while hanging on. That guy's just gonna not do what I want him to. Fine.
Keep your you. He's making a run for it. You.
Whatever. Come here. Just done dealing with that guy.
Guess who's stuck was finding who did all that shite.
Really? I looted the package. Really? Yeah, that's frustrating. These guys stop looking at me so I can get in this kit box.
Oh, what's this?
Thank you.
A rifle.
You there! Stay! Where you are.
How can that be? It makes no sound. Thanks for the present, Master Washington.
This is a strange surprise. Not quite what I was expecting. Now I must find Washington and interrogate him.
Berserk charts? Where are they? Oh, they're up and down. This is going to be difficult based on Assassin's Creed 4's locations and Adewale's locations. So, Mount Vernon is on the Potomac in Virginia, right? So, explain to me why we're here seeing it while at the St. Lawrence Seaway or the St. Lawrence River Valley. Look at a map, they're not the same. Like, I get you can't do big long distances like that, but at least a different location, because really they're not that close. Oh wait, what the heck was... Huh. The remaster of this game, now of course I've only played Assassin's Creed Rogue 2 or 3 times I think total, and this is the first time that I have played the remaster, and to me the difference seems to be mostly compared to the difference between the black flag on the 360 and the black flag on the Xbox One. So that's what I play on. I play on the Xbox One. And the older games that are only 360 or PS4, I run in backwards compatibility. But as of right now, it only appears that things are...
I need to get to Washington first. Then I'll worry about the artifacts.
Standard... Oh, he's dead. Standard, since they're busy, I should be able to get over here. Just standard small graphical upgrades. I expected, to be honest, a little bit more, because it's a fairly new remaster, but I guess it is what it is. Come on, start fighting so I can run over there. And he's somewhere in there. I was detected? That's not cool. Where do I start? Do I have to start over with the berserking? Yep, sure do. No, not the pistol. That would have been bad. Out of range. You are not, though.
I need to get to Washington first. Then I'll worry about the other paths.
How marvelous! Color! How marvelous!
Brother, are you sure you shouldn't be in bed?
I am fine, George. Be a good host for my sake. Go to the wine cellar and get something special for our guests.
I will. Gentlemen?
My brother is a bright spot in a troubled land. If I may make one request before I depart this life, please leave him in peace. He should have nothing to do with the troubles of the Templar cause.
We all respect that sentiment, sir.
You have my thanks, gentlemen. Master Smith, are you ready to leave on your voyage?
Aye, sir. I shall return with answers.
Master Wardrop, are you likewise engaged with the manuscript?
Yes, sir. We will soon know its meaning.
Then I bid you take your leave.
Seems to me, most him himself, like we're figuring he's somewhere in his 30s
Washington
at this
can
point.
barely stand on his own 2 feet. Better be right about him, Liam. Because I'm about to murder a dying
Then
man.
he should not be looking that old, huh? Don't remember what these diamonds do. Increase money and other things. Now we just sit here and wait for him to die. Ignore that.
You are too late, assassin.
It's never too late to ruin Templar plans, Master Washington.
But my plans are already in motion. Even leading you here has given my allies time to escape. Thank you for making my end a quick one.
And thank you for revealing your master plan, you scheming snake.
Smoke bombs!
God damn it. I better hurry.
Excuse me, fellas.
I have to get to the
What's
Morgan.
to do when you
Liam,
guys
I hope
are
you
firing
brought
on
the
my
ship around.
ship?
You can't get past me.
Oh, let's have a word. Is that a shit mortar? That's not sported. Report.
I think I almost got hit with that.
Captain has the
Loose made sails. Fire. guns out. Let's get
Come
moving.
on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Even Coup Cullen you ain't fire! Working on it! Get out of range! They'll sink us!
Brace for impact!
Lawrence Washington is dead.
You look disappointed.
The sickly way that man looked. He would have been dead in a month anyway. 2 other Templars got away. They're looking into the manuscript and box.
Did they have the artifacts?
I don't know. Perhaps. I can't be sure.
Then you did what was right by the Brotherhood. Find the object later. Here up, Shay. It's a rare day we could sow some chaos among the Templars.
Perhaps. But to hear Washington speak, it didn't sound like they'd be too put out by the loss.
Oh boy.
Blue sword and trim. On tops. Proud on every inch of sand.
Turn sharply here.
Fire!
They're too strong for us! Caution, Shay!
Well, let's see. Oh, they turned around.
Lawrence Washington is dead.
You look disappointed.
The sickly way that man looked. He would have been dead in a month anyway. And 2 other Templars got away. They're looking into the manuscript and box.
Did they have the artifacts?
I don't know. Perhaps. I can't be sure.
Then you did what was right by the Brotherhood. Find the object later. Cheer up, Shay. It's a rare day we can sow such chaos among the Templars.
Perhaps. But to hear Washington speak, it didn't sound like they'd be too put out by the loss.
Well, that's what he'd want you to think.
Alright, so let's see if I get pulled out of the Animus. Because if that's the case, we got one more thing to do. If not, that's going to be the end of the sequence. So let's see real quick. Doesn't look like it will be. So as soon as it kicks in out of the loading screen here, we're gonna pause it, and then we're going to call it for the day. Yep, there we go. All right, so that was sequence 1 of Assassin's Creed Rogue. I hope you've enjoyed the information and the entertainment that I brought. If you like what I do and the time that we had with each other, take a look at the description below. You'll find both my website and my social media. And if you have enjoyed it, like and subscribe. And until next time, have a good night.